Hello, everybody. Thank you for the mic check. There we go. That should be working now. But hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lincoln Pokemon League Season 2, Week 2. We'll do a dab to start things off. There you go, bud. And we are here for Week 2 of the Lincoln Pokemon League. We're going to be having a great time today because last week we did say that this week's going to be very, very telling in terms of the games played. Because week 1 can be kind of a tester week, you know, sometimes for some of these teams. And so this week I think people have got a little bit more to grips with their team, and I think we'll be having a couple more competitive games. Last week, every single game was 2-0. So we'll see if we go to any game 3s this week. And boy, do we have some games to start you off. But before that, let me go over some of the results of last week. If you're only just joining us at the Lincoln Pokemon League, this is a draft league where players draft 12 Pokemon that you can see down here. And you can see that they bring 6 Pokemon into each battle, and this season we are doing Gen 9 Little Cup. So last week we had the Clueless Clodsires taking it over the Kingambit Shogunate 2-0. We had the Dunscats taking it over the Kilowattrel Shockwaves 2-0. We had the Leapin' Low Kicks losing to the Revved Up Reverooms 2-0. And we had the Salty Gargnackles taking it over the Tinkaton Home Runs 2-0. So, now that you're all caught up, we have a week 2 to get to. Remember, we have 7 weeks of these league games and then a finals week. So we have a lot of games to get to. We have 4 sets for you to get through today. So let's get right into one right now with our first game of the Tinkaton Home Runs versus the Clueless Clodsires. The first game is going to look like this, in terms of the, unfortunately the first game is going to look like this in terms of the view. Unfortunately the video did not save right, but we will be getting into it with maximum efficiency right here. So let's get everything started and ready to go with game 1 of the Clueless Clodsires versus the Tinkaton Home Runs. So, we're going to be having the Starly sent out. Ice Beam is gonna OHKO straight away. The Bronzor's coming out. Thunder Wave. And the Light Screen, they both set up Light Screen. And now it's going to be the Terrestrialization into the Bug type. We're going to be using the Power Gem here. Super effective critical hit as well there. And now the Light Screen getting set up again for the second time here. The Bounty Hunter Growlithe coming out. I'm loving the Pokemon names from the Tinkaton Home Runs right now. It's always fun when we have the nicknames. Surf coming out, gonna be taking out. And now the Boom Burst. Bulk Up, gonna come out here. And Encore! Oh, that's going to be so bad! Oh no! The Encore on the Bulk Up. It was a good switch out though. Surf comes out and is going to take out the Bonsong. Brain Punch. Going to heal up some of that health there. And another one going to take it out. Rowlet comes in, gets hit by the Stealth Fox. And now it's Finizen coming in. Boom Burst going to connect. And so is Drain Punch. The Tinkaton home runs. Really sweeping right here with this Drain Punch. And it's an Ice Punch this time onto the Rowlet. And that's going to be game 1 for the Tinkaton home runs. Oh my goodness gracious me. Wow, wow, wow. Can you believe that? The Tinkaton home runs going up 1-0 with that Drain Punch sweeper right there. And so let's get into game 2 with maximum efficiency here. And it's going to be James Pond coming out this Psyduck, terrestrialized immediately into ground type. With the Terra Blast immune onto the Starly. And the Encore onto the Stealth Fox. That's big. Boom Burst. Takes away a lot of life from Steve-O there. From this Dratini. Now this Crabrawler coming out. Was the sweeper last time. But the Drain Punch is immune against the Shuppet. And it's paralyzed now, but the switch. The Crunch going to be a super effective critical hit, but that's onto the substitute. And it's paralyzed. There's the Crunch. Over half health there. Power Gem is going to take it out though. Now the Bronzor coming in to take out the Glimmet. Starly needs to get hit by the Stealth Fox. The final Gambit not going to kill the Bronzor. And now the Terrestrialization coming out to normal type. The Terra Blast on to that normal type Finizen. And the Boom Burst and the Poison going to take it out. Now, the Weeper. Earthquake. We're going to get, we might be getting our first 1-1. We might be getting our first game 3 of the Lincoln Pokemon League Season 2 here. Let's see. Shuppet taken out, but the Weeper's coming in. Will-O-Wisp gets the burn off. Terra Blast, not going to do much. Curse activated, the burn going to connect. Terra Blast again. Recovery from the Weeper. Oh no. Just keep Terra Blasting. Oh no. Is this some... Oh no. Earthquake finally going to take it out. And we're getting our first Game 3 of the Lincoln Pokemon League. My goodness. Since it's our first Game 3 of the Lincoln Pokemon League, I think we have to get into it with maximum efficiency. Let's get it started. Going to switch into the Weeper. Going to Terrestrialize immediately into that Bug type. Oh my goodness, the Earthquake! Gonna take it out with an Oko. The recovery coming through. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, Shuppet swapped in for Rowlet. Yes, that was correct in the chat there. Now the Bronzor coming out. Critical hit Surf. Now the Magnemite setting up the Light Screen back. Stealth Fox coming out here. Oh, the resist. Light Screen wears off. Thunder Wave paralyzed. Stealth Fox set up here. And this Magnemite is just resisting everything right now. And this Bronzor is paralyzed. Shuppet puts in the substitute. Now setting up the Light Scream to switch into the Stunky. Shadow Ball gets resisted there. The crunch onto the substitute that time. The paralyze. Oh, the Stealth Fox still alive on the Glimmer. Power Gem going to get resisted. That's a good switch. But the Power Gem going to pick up the KO there. Extreme speed to make sure that the Dratini goes first. Now the Terrestrialization into the Dragon type. And the Outrage. But the Brave Bird going to take it out. The Poison onto the Psyduck. James Pond. Super effective Ice Beam. And it looks like the Tinkaton Home Runs are looking to pick up their first set. Make it a 1-1. But the recovery, the Poison. Just keep Ice Beaming. Here's the Curse. Just keep Ice Beaming here. Recovery. Back to 70. Remember, this Weep is still Terrestrialized to Bug type. The Earthquake coming out. Oh, wait a second. Surely not the Paralyze! Crunch. Super effective Earthquake! It's a 1-1 when it was a 3-1! This could be such a huge comeback! And it is! The Clueless Clodsires! Take it! My goodness! Can you believe that? Wow! Well played. What a comeback from that Wooper. That's just great trainer skills there from the Clueless Clodsires. My goodness. Can you believe that? Now, let's see who we're gonna have next up. Let me get it all set up for you in chat here. Yeah, massive comeback. Yes, the Weeper was very strong that time around. There we go. Huge loss. Yeah, absolutely, for the Tinkaton home runs there. But now... we're going to be having the Dunsparce Dunce Caps versus the Kingambit Shogunate. So going to be a very exciting game. You can see the Pokemon they brought to this game one on stream there. There we go. Have those logos set up for you. And I think with that said, let's get into this set number 2 of the Dunsparce Dunce Caps versus the Kingambit Shogunate. A very exciting set, to be sure. Yeah, the Almost Bound team got the synchronization there. Now, we have to remember, last time this Mudbray was an absolute sweeper for the Dunsparce Dunce Caps. Let's see if the Kingambit Shogunate actually have seen that last week and tried to adapt to it. But I'm loving the nicknames from both these teams at the minute. Okay, here we go. And I'm not going to fall for that one, Kingambit Shogunate. I know exactly what you're trying to make me say on stream. But here we go. That's a big 44%. There. And now going to be the Teddiursa. Coming out, the Litleo. I really like this Litleo, but the chip coming out, and here comes that Mudbray sweeper that we saw last week into the Steel type, and it's going to pick up a KO immediately. Leech Seed activated there. Big 77%. Oh! And it's still alive there. The Ice Shard is not very effective, and the Night Slash going to pick it up with a critical hit. And now that Terra Blast going to pick up the KO, but it's only this Drifloon left. And it's looking very scary. Yeah, the close combat going to pick up game 1 for the Dunce Caps. Oh no. Immediately banned. But that's going to be game 1. Let's see if there are any adaptations made from the Shogunate there. in game number 2. Let's get into it with maximum efficiency. Stealth Fox set up immediately, and so are the Toxic Spikes. The Ovenberry going to pop. Now, the Night Slash does a lot of damage. The Protect coming out. Night Slash again. Stealth Fox and Poison activated here. Another Capnia. Seed Bomb is super effective there, but it's not going to kill, and the Shadow Belt is... Ice Shard going to pick up that KO there, and it's a 1-for-1. Rick Rake going to be super effective there. Icicle Crash going to miss! And the Iron Head going to pick up the kill! Flame Charge. Sucker Punch. Going to pick up another, and now it seems like the Dunce Caps are running away with it a little bit, but that Croagunk going to pick up 1 KO. Let's see if the Shogunate can get back into this one. But the super effective Fangs! Oh my goodness, this Drifloon. Going to be terrestrialized into the water type, and it's going to pick up the KO on the Litleo. Hard critical hits. Drifloon comes back out into the Stealth Box, a little bit of chip. Terra Blast. And that is going to be a 2-0 for the Dunce Caps. Some GGs in the chat. We love that good sportsmanship there. That's amazing stuff from both players there. Now let's see what we've got next. The Dunce Caps have been playing really, really well. That meme from Akira. That's a good one. That's a good one. Akira! There you go. That's my impression of that meme. But let's see what we've got next. Okay. Ooh. Okay. We have a big game now. To be fair, every game is a big game in the Lincoln Pokemon League. For this one, we're going to have the Salty Garganacles versus the Revved Up Reverooms. Very exciting game, this. You can see what they have brought on stream right now. Yes, absolutely, the Quaxley is a menace. I do agree. did see that Quaxley come out and put in work last week. But let's see if it puts in work this week, because that's what matters here. Let's get into this set right now. The Salty Garganacles versus the Revved Up Revarooms. The Riolu comes out. Going to Terastallize immediately into the Steel type. Going to Calm Mind off of the Copycat there. And the Wish activates. The Wish all set up there. The Swords Dance setting up this Riolu for great success here. And it's going to be an Oko. And the Fire Fang gonna bring it right back. 1 for 1. And now the U-turn into the Toad School this time. Going to be activating the Synthesis. Get some of that health back. Giga Drain. Nerf Power. Going to be switching into the Flabebe. And the Protect. Really good play there. Going to switch into the Fungus. And we did see this Fungus become a menace last time as well. Blizzard gets resisted. That's a good switch from the Revarooms. U-turn. Let's see what's into it. The Quaxley. A lot of switches in and out on this one. Oh, going to Terastallize into the Grass type. Going to get the Toad School, knock off that item there. Here's the Giga Drain. And the Moonblast is not too much either. This one seems to be going the distance. There's not that much significant damage, and the Protect fails as well. Going to get the knockoff going. Yeah, it's really difficult to get any significant damage on the board here, it's looking like. But that being said, that's another KO on to turn 30. That Toad School finally goes down. And the Crunch going to pick up a lot of damage. And the Burn going to pick up a little bit more. And finally, it seems like there's something significant. It's all blowing up now. It's Pokemon for Pokemon. We're switching to the Snover. Snow going to be falling down. Calm Mind. Going to get that speed up, get that special attack up. Special defense up, so apologies, not speed. Now, the Wish going to get fucked. Yeah, the Fleas. Moonblast going to do a significant amount though. And the Wish comes through. Setting up the Trick. And that's going to be the Moonblast. Oko! The Revarooms are looking to take this one with only the Charmander left. And it's on low health. Yep, 5%. The Ancient Power isn't going to do it. The Moonblast will. It's going to be the Revarooms picking it up on turn 43. My goodness, that one went the distance. One of the longest battles we've seen so far in the Lincoln Pokemon League. With that last one being so close, it reached a climax. Let's get into the second, and eventually everything blew up. Let's see if this second game is going to be the same. Going to be a critical hit. It's not going to do that significant amount though. The Earth Power, 30%. It's a good switch. The knockoff. No items allowed in the Garganacl's house right now. Riolu gets burned. U-turn, what's it into? It's into the Mastiff. And the Crunch! Switch into the Riolu, and Crunch gets resisted that time. We do know the Garganacls like doing terrestrialization on this Riolu, but probably not this time. Toadskull. Yeah, going to be sacking that to get a nice switch in, I think. Into the Pichu. Didn't see this one, the fake out. And it's the flinch. Liquidation though. Oh my goodness. Overheat. Finally going to pick up a KO on turn 15. As is being said in the chat, the burn on the Riolu was very unfortunate, and the Snova about taking near half health there. But the Giga Drain going to heal it back up. Now the Fungus. Now the Larvesta. My Shard are going to get resisted. It's a great switch. Charmander comes out. U-turn. What's it into this time? Okay. Going to switch into the Quaxly. Charmander into Grass type. Super effective overheat. That terrestrialization did not work out. And now Riolu gets dragged out. Gets hit by so many things, so much chip. The Stealth Rocks, the burn. Now the Swords Dance. Gonna hit the close combat, which is resisted. Clear Smog gonna pick up the KO onto the Riolu. The Overheat gonna make it a 3-3 game here. This Mastiff is still on 100%. The Fire Fang. Oh my goodness. The Protect. That's a good Protect. That Fire Fang, as we've seen, does a significant amount of damage. Yep, absolutely. Oh no. Now the Charmander. It's the Flamethrower. Finally, it goes down. Now it's a 2v1. And it's a super effective Flamethrower. So one each. Oh no. U-turn is going to critical hit. And pick up the KO. For 2-0. For the Garganacls. For the Reverooms. The Garganacls go 0-2 in this one. I should say. That was so close. I am almost speechless for that one. You can tell I don't know what to say. What a set. Exceptionally close. One of the closest games in the Lincoln Pokemon League so far. Now, just some information from the chat here. Crit didn't matter there. Super effective stab against a Scarfer with no defense. Yeah, that's a good observation from the chat there. But the crit is exciting to pick up the last KO anyway. It's always exciting when those crits come out. And to end off this week, we have a very exciting game, as always. It's going to be the Leaping Low Kicks versus the Kilowattful Shockwaves. Let's get that scoreline and those logos up so they can rep their teams. Ooh, well, I might need to move that name across. I will in a second. You can see team comps they brought to their first game right now. Let's move that across for all of you. There we go. Rightio. Let's get into this one. The Leaping Low Kicks versus the Kilowattful Shockwaves. Game numero uno. Some GLHFs in the chat to start it off. Gonna be the Stealth Rock into the U-turn. The Galarian Meowth hits the fake out and flinch. But the super effective Earthquake. The Surf gonna be resisted against the Floki. And terrestrialized it into grass at the wrong time there. Going to pick up the KO. The Volt Switch not gonna connect on there. And I'm loving the nicknames there from the Leaping Low Kicks. Sucker Punch. Going to take this down to red health, but it's a good switch into the Larvitar. The Bramblin. We saw this Bramblin last time. The Play Rough. Gonna do a lot of damage there. The Wingull going to get knocked out by that Play Rough. And another Play Rough from the Shockwaves. But that first impression. Oh my! The miss on the power whip. And oh my goodness! With 2 mons to spare. The Shockwave's gonna pick up game 1. Let's see if there's a comeback in this game 2 here. For the leap and low kicks. Into Thrustalizer, into water. Turn 1. And the Floki gonna get knocked out. Dragon Dance. Going to buff up this Larvitar. Frick Rake. Not gonna kill there. The burn chipping away. U-turn. Switch into the Voltorb. Switch into the Phanpy. And Thrustalization into the grass type. The Tether Blast. Going to pick up the knockout. And it's a flinch. The Volt Switch. The Iron Head going to be resisted there. Got Rambling coming out there. Spikes going to get activated, and now the Wingull gonna get hit by the crunch. 71% of the health bar. And it's gonna get hit by the spikes and knocked out just passively there. No moves needed. Volt Switch isn't effective. Goes into a new Pokemon there. The Galarian Meowth going to get KO'd. The Surf is going to be a critical hit. Now the Larvitar back in again. That's also super effective. And it's 3 for 3. Reaching turn 18. The Surf going to pick up the KO. Now the Power Whip. Needs to take just over half health there, just over 50%. Rapid Spin, not going to pick up the knockout there. But the second time it is. And gets that speed buff. Power Whip coming out. Thunder Wave. When that Ramblin is already paralyzed there. And it's going to even up the set at 1 apiece. That's the second game 3. And that is a very, very fast bush. Yeah, that speed tie there. Very interesting. Chat, very interested in that interaction right there. But it looks like the same loadout. It is the same loadout, it looks like to me, for both teams there. We're going to go into this game 3, the last game of today, to decide the set. To end off week 2. Let's get it. Leap and Low Kicks versus Kilowattrel Shockwaves, game number 3. Be the Wingull and the Voltorb. Terrastalize back. Start things off, and it's going to be an Oko for that Voltorb. Volt Switch out. U-turn. Into the Larvitar. That's super effective, and another Oko. Ramblin. Spikes getting set up here. And another Spikes. Earthquake. Gonna be a critical hit, but it's not gonna kill. Strength Zap coming through. Healing back up to full. Earthquake. Oh. My goodness gracious me. It's Fampi coming out. Voltorb switches in. Gets hit by the Spikes. Heals up with the Oven Berry. And if you can see, the battle timer was requested by Cars there. Volt switch. Rapid spin. The fast bush. Stokey coming out here. Galarian Meowth switches in. And that's going to be a knocked out Meowth. And the leap and low kicks. Going to pick up a KO there. Oh my goodness, just 2 Pokemon left for the low kicks. 1 Pokemon left. Oh, and it's a forfeit. Thumb, the low kicks there. Not gonna send out the bush. Just gonna admit defeat on that one. And that means it's 2-1 to the Shockwaves. And that's what we're gonna end it on. Some very, very exciting sets there. What a week 2. Finally went to some game 3s. Wow, wow, wow. Now people have really gotten to grips with their teams. Like you saw there, the Kilowattful Shockwaves. Week 1, they didn't do as well. But this week, brought it back, went 1 for 1. And now, have gone up to that mid-table there. Yeah, the first few turns really do matter a lot in these battles. And these teams do know that. Shout out to everyone in the Lincoln Pokemon League, all these 8 teams, all these trainers. Thank you all so much for coming by to watch. I always love doing these streams, as you know. One of my favourite streams to do. Again, thank you so much to Poker Prince of the Kingambit Shogunate for letting me do these streams and bring these amazing battles to you. Bring the talent of these amazing trainers to you. As always, if you would like to keep up with the Lincoln Pokemon League, who's playing next week and so on, feel free to join the Lincoln Pokemon League Discord. We'll do announcements on when the streams are, and you can get some early looks at what games you can see next week, as well as looking at some of the trades as we're heading into week number 3. Those trades might be coming through. I'm sure some of these trainers have, some of these teams have some trades in mind already. Yep, Graveyard Week. Again, thank you so much for letting me do it, Poker Prince. Let me bring these streams to you. These Little Cup games are always so exciting. A big change from what we did in Season 1. But I think these teams have really taken to it. All these trainers really showing off their talent. If you would like to see more of me as well, at Jacobian Pereira on the Twitter, I'll let you know when these streams occur. Normally, it will happen at 6:30 on Sundays is when these streams start. So we will see you next week, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll leave you with a banger and see you next time, guys. Cheerio.